They played hard, they played physical, they executed in a lot of plays. There's certainly some plays we need to clean up. We're going to go back and watch the film. There's going to be a lot to coach off of. It's certainly more fun to coach off of a win than a loss. But I'll say that every week is its own week. We're excited to get back at it tomorrow. Hats off to a couple players and to some coaches. We gave a game ball out to Johnny Nansen. First game that he ever called as a defensive coordinator, and was spectacular. I don't know the total yards, or I know that they let up probably 13 points on defense, if that. They had to deal with a turnover and a block punt, but our defense played tremendous. They took the ball away twice, so Johnny got a game ball. Paris Shen and Kobe Cage for forcing the fumble and recovering the fumble got a game ball. Jackson Turner got a game ball for the interception, and then offensively, Jaden DeLora and Jacob Cowan. We're very appreciative that those guys had faith and belief in us and chose to come to the University of Arizona, as we are the recruits that came here, and T-Mac and all those guys, Big Jonah, and there's so many to name, Speedy, Jonah. There's a lot of guys that played today for the first time. So we're just getting started. We're building this. We really believe we can build something special at Arizona, but it's going to take time. And we just tell our players to continue to trust the process, and good things will come.
I know you were trying not to attach too much meaning to this first game, but what does it mean for the program to pull off this victory?
It means that we're 1-0, and we go back tomorrow, and we go to work, and we try to go 1-0 again on Saturday. The guys played well, and they competed really hard. And what's important for our guys to continue to play like Wildcats, as we've said before, trusting the process, playing with passion, loving their teammates, embracing the grind. Practice isn't going to get any easier tomorrow. Practice will be just as hard as it will be all week long, and we've got a really good opponent that we've got to prepare for.
You talked about the newcomers on the team, the impact that they've had on this game, but can you go a little bit more into detail with that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that since 2007, no one's ever caught 3 touchdown passes in the first game, other than Michael Crabtree in 2007 in a Power 5 game. So that's a pretty big impact that Jacob Cowan made on our football team. I think our red zone was probably better today than it was a year ago because of the guys that came in and joined us. I would say that without a question, Big Jonah, as much as he could play, just had to deal with a couple things that we had to he should be fine for next week, I think. But he played really well. And then obviously, Jonah Coleman taking reps at the end of the game, Speedy taking reps at the end of the game. These guys continue to make plays for us. And then obviously, with a quarterback like Jaden DeLora coming in here and being confident and had no flinch in him, no flinch. And credit to Jimmy Doherty on getting Jaden ready.
Speaking of flinch, you had a situation late in the first half and then again in this third quarter where you had back-to-back bad offensive possessions or whatever, and they were able to get some points off it. And how proud are you that the team didn't look at that as, oh, here we go again?
Yeah, that we've tried to emphasize, Brian, every day that we could, that this is 2022, and don't look back. And don't think that because maybe one thing happened last year and we couldn't overcome it, that had anything to do with this year. So just play the next play, every play, and don't focus in on what could have been or what just happened, or how we got caught in one situation or another, and just see if we can continue to be mentally tough and be able to just understand that, hey, it's a 75 to 80 play game, both sides of the ball, let's just go out there and execute the next play.
How important was it to establish the run and then do it successfully against a team where that generally doesn't happen?
Well, we made a big point of emphasis in our weight room with Coach Owens and our whole strength staff of getting bigger and stronger and more physical up front. We felt like we want to be a very good running team. We know that that's going to help us in every facet of the game, converting on third down, scoring in the red zone. So it was really important that we were able to run the football. For the most part, this game, we felt like we could call the runs we wanted to call and execute them, and that's a credit to Brennan Carroll and the run plan that he and the offensive staff put together.
Coach, there's been a lot of chatter about San Diego State one day or maybe one day soon joining the Pac-12. Would you like to see them in your conference, or are you content with the 10 teams that you already got?
Oh man, I'm only worried about trying to beat Mississippi State and celebrate this way. That other stuff about conferences, that's for the higher ups to be able to discuss. I'm just excited that we came into San Diego today on the road, knowing that we have 7 home games this season, be able to come on the road and start 1-0.
Can you touch on how important red zone and takeaways were in this game? Considering it was a big emphasis for you in the offseason.
Well, Justin, I'd say that it's important in every game. You know, you got to take the ball away and you got to score in the red zone. We just happen to do it this game, and we have to try to do it every game we play. It has to be. It's how you win football games. If you go back and the test of time, right? Number 1 stat is more points than the other team. Number 2 stat is takeaways. So for us, the only way to score more points is to be better in the red area and to defend the red area better, which both things we did. And then the second part of it is to get the ball and win the turnover margin. In this case, I think it was a flat at 0 because we turned it over twice, which we can't do. And we took it away twice. So we've got to be better. We can't throw that interception. And we certainly should never get a ball stripped out. It should have been 3rd and 1. And instead, we stripped it out and we gave them the ball at the 24-yard line.
After the weird block punt situation, they got the ball back again, and they were in the red zone. You held them to a field goal. Then you went on that kind of long, grinding march with a lot of running plays. Can you just talk about the significance of that sequence?
Yeah, obviously it's tough when you're backed up on the -2 to start the series. We tried to throw the ball to get out. We didn't hit on it. We then tried to run the ball, and it was 3rd and 10, and we couldn't make anything out of it. T-Mac had a play on the sideline, but the ball was out of bounds. So then we had a block punt for a touchdown. And then if we continue our process of playing the next play, then we don't talk about the last play. And we have such a focus on, hey, go in and the next play. Just play your best play this play, and then again the next play. And if they continue to build off of that and trust that, then we feel like we can go back out there and have the drive that we had.
Last season, you guys gave up, I believe, 271 yards on the ground against San Diego State. This year, I think it was under 100. Can you just talk about the defensive switch there?
Yeah, well, I tell you, as I was saying earlier, I don't know the exact stats. It looks like we gave up 62 yards passing and, rushing. What did they rush? So they rushed for, what, I don't know,
172 rush.
what was it?
170 rush.
Yeah, 170 rushing, handed the ball off a bunch of times. I think that our defense played great total, all around. They just played really, really good football. If you can't throw the ball, if you can keep a team under 75 yards passing, they're going to run the ball for some. But the fact that we kept the team in total under that 250-yard mark or whatever that was, whatever that ends up to be, kudos to them on that, and really, really good job of getting that done by the defense. And that's why Coach Nansen got the game ball.
Can you talk about Delaware specifically?
Jaded. What else could you ask for in terms of came in here? He was 22 for 35 for 299 yards and 4 touchdowns. So statistically, that's a pretty good day. He got sacked one time, only on a snap that went over his head. That time was more important than yards at that point in time. It was a 2nd down and short. And I went over his head, so just fall on it. Don't try to throw it away. Don't, I think in that situation, I think there was another time that, he'd probably like to get one pass back. But for the most part, I thought he played a fantastic game of football, had great control, and was awesome on the sideline. You want to talk about a guy that was able to talk to the whole team, was able to cheer on the team, and that the players looked to anytime there was any adversity. It was pretty cool to see him go.
Coach, this was I think it was the hottest day on record in San Diego for September 3rd. Being used to this kind of heat, was that a little bit of an advantage you felt like for your team?
Well, I certainly felt, that our team all training camp worked really, really hard, and we practiced right in the middle of the afternoon. So, we'll go out and walk through. We'll practice from 10 to 12 in the morning. We'll be right there at noon, still doing our conditioning, to end practice at noon every day in Arizona in August. And we go back out there and do walkthroughs in the afternoons. So our guys are, I think, our strength staff all summer long, did a fantastic job of taking our skill group and putting them at a 230 conditioning program, and taking our big guys and putting them out there in the middle of the day also. So, you know, you could see that the heat is our friend, and we embrace it.
Hunter Eccles was having a really good game. It seemed like he got banged up. Do you know what his status is?
I don't know what his status will be. It seems like he'll be okay. I think there was, you know, some stuff that he's getting cleaned up a little bit, but I think he'll be okay from what I understand.
Yeah, what about Peters?
I have not got any injury report on him. I think he'll be fine.
You've had a consistent message throughout the summer, expect to win, all that. That first game to be able to turn it into a result. How important is that for what you're trying to get across for them to do that?
You know, honestly, Jason, I really believe that our guys needed to find a way to get to 1-0, and then we start again tomorrow. You know, we asked them to have confidence without evidence and trust the process of what we're asking them to do. And then I think what you'll have to ask them if it makes a difference for them. But I would really say that those guys embraced what we asked them to do, come to work, practice really, really, really hard, condition all summer long when coaches aren't around and you're dealing with your strength staff, run practices, and do a great job with them, and then be able to go out there and go on the road against a very, very good team that won 12-2 last year and come to San Diego and play the way we did. I'm really proud of our team and our coaches and really everybody that's affiliated with Arizona. Now we got to go back, get back to Tucson and fill that stadium next Saturday night.
All right, that's our time.
Okay, thank you.